you guys for coming back on another channel. Today I have my best lovely friend, Miss Brittany. Can you introduce yourself?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Brittany. I'm here with Angie today in her lovely home. Um, I'm 23. I'm single. I'm just
So if you wanna applications, just make sure you leave your comments below. That way so we can go ahead and start.
I'm just kidding. I'm not taking applications. I'm okay. I have to focus in school. I'm a full-time student, so I don't have time for that right now. But yeah, I'm always looking for adventures and stuff. So, oh yeah, sugar daddies hit me up. Without the sugar though.
She's like, I just want my bills to be paid
Literally.
and my toes to be sucked.
Maybe on the weekends.
Okay, so this is kind of like new to both of us. We're kind of just winging it, and we're just gonna go ahead and answer some questions and kind of just go from there and see like what this turns into. So, you ready? Cause we're about to get deep. Okay, these questions they're pretty deep.
Okay. Is it gonna send me to an existential crisis or whatever?
Oh, girl, I think we've all been there. I think it's time.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. Let's take a drink before we get started with these questions. Because,
Okay.
we're going to be spilling a lot today. Ready? Cheers. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now I'm ready to spill some tea. First question. What's been on your heart and mind recently? Brittany, can you go first? What's been on your heart and mind recently?
As of recently, I think it's just the the idea and actually living through growing out friendships, outgrowing people. Um, I used to be in the mindset that like you meet people, you keep people in your life, and I've been learning the hard way it's not always like that, but it just makes room for people that are gonna be in your life forever and like to see you grow and everything. Um, but it's not a sad thing. Honestly, it's a good thing. So, you know, because of that, I met my beautiful Angie. So,
Thanks. I feel like when it comes to life, I feel like you're given people only for a season, and I think sometimes we outgrow that season. I feel sometimes it's just you kind of have to lose friends to get even better friends that are meant to be a positive influence in your life. And I feel friends sometimes are just gonna dispose of themselves. So, I mean, this is kind of sounding pretty interesting. I feel like we can all relate to that because I feel like we've all had friends that, how can I say this? Friends that claim that they're your friends, but they only check in on you when they want to check in on you. Or like they only talk to you when it's like beneficial for them. Period. I told you we're going deep.
exactly. It's like the saying goes, the trash always takes itself out.
Period.
Or someone correct me, but that's how I see it. And you wouldn't want to be stuck like in a non-ending cycle of people who don't want to see you grow either. So,
Period. Definitely. I feel like I'm gonna ask myself this question. So, what's been on my heart and mind recently? I feel like for me, it's just how I was saying, like going through like different seasons in life. And I feel like recently I've been going through such a season where I just feel it's like a mental struggle with myself. Sometimes you have like those days where you just it's hard to get out of bed. You don't want to do anything. You kind of like just lose your interest in like doing things. And I feel like you just have to kind of like find yourself again. You know, you kind of have to slowly get into like your routine, find a routine, make sure you eat. You definitely have to make sure you eat, because I know some of us, we go through that stage where we just have those days where we just don't want to do anything. We don't want to eat. We don't want to talk to anybody. We just want to lay in bed and just kind of stare into space. And I feel like that's like an unhealthy habit that I have, where sometimes when I have bad days, I just want to stay home. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to the gym. And my bed is like my comfort zone. But I don't know. I just feel like I'm just going through that season where I'm just being tested with like many obstacles, and I'm just trying to like go through those obstacles and just know that there's something better on the other side, you know? I told you guys we were gonna get deep. These questions are just, they're not coming to play.
They're not here to gentle play.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna get my deepest, darkest secrets out of me.
Next questions. Ooh.
I'm scared.
This question, talking about seasons. What are your current priorities in this season of your life, and why?
A main one would definitely be pushing myself forward. I, relating back to what you said, I was in a spot where I didn't, I didn't have the motivation to keep moving forward as I should. I let it affect my worth ethic, my schoolwork, and everything. And it was very hard towards the end because it did greatly impact how I was doing. So as of right now, one of my priorities is to get myself back on track and just be there for myself the way that I'm there for others, and just put that love back into myself as well.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I agree with you there. I feel like sometimes we give so much to other people that we just don't give to ourselves. And I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like when you pour into other people's cups, I feel like some people don't even care if yours is full or empty. And they just take and take and take and take from you. And I feel to a certain extent, like it just gets to your head. And I feel like we're all human. We all struggle. We all go through, you know, different seasons in life, where one season it may be like so good. The month will be like gushing with blessings, and the next season can be just something so like intense. I feel like sometimes things get so intense that you're just like, damn, girl, like, take a step back.
Give me
Like,
some
give me
slack.
some space. Like, some sun is definitely much needed, but I feel like sometimes some people, like, when they go through hard things, I feel like sometimes they just don't know, like, who to talk to, or sometimes they just, like, blame themselves, or, like, I don't know. But I just feel like life is such like a learning lesson, and we just have to go with the flow with things. I feel like life is just intense, that we're so used to things being so bad that when something good happens, I feel like we find ways to kind of like self sabotage. I don't know about you, but I feel like I self sabotage a lot, especially when it comes to like work, when it comes to like the gym, when it comes to like eating, like relationship wise, like myself wise. I just feel like when I'm in that state, when I want to just sabotage anything, like everything is just all out. Like, I don't know about you, but I mean, I struggle sometimes with that. And I don't know if anybody else like struggles with that, but I just want you to know that you're not alone, and that's something that I'm pretty sure that I can speak for like anybody, that everybody goes through that, and just know that you're not alone. You are loved, you are valued, and there's always a rainbow on the other side of that darkness. But next question. I'm gonna go with an easy question because I feel like we've been getting so deep into these conversations already. These questions, I'm gonna find one that's just kind of not so deep. Next question is, what are you most proud of yourself? I'll give you some time to think. I'll go ahead and answer this myself. I feel like for me, something that I'm so proud of is I'm proud of myself for not giving up. How I mentioned earlier, sometimes we go through like the most darkest seasons, and I feel like sometimes you get those intrusive thoughts where you just want to give up, or like you're just like, you know what, like F it, it is what it is. Like there's nothing I can do or say to change the situation. Um, but I feel like I'm just very proud of myself for not giving up. I feel like this season has been such a big test on me and like myself, and I'm just extremely thankful for like the love I have from like the people that love me, especially like my husband, always picking me up whenever I have like my days where I just, feel like I'm not even like worthy of love or, worthy of like being here on this earth. But I feel like you just have to always tell yourself, like, remind yourself to be kind to yourself because sometimes you're being bullied by like other people that don't even think that they're being bullies. And then you bully yourself more, and it's like you have to remind yourself to be kind. I feel so many people struggle with being kind, and it sucks. It sucks to see, you know, people just like not care about what other situations other people are in, and or like what mental state, you know, you're in or I'm in, or like, just anybody that are in, and I don't know. I'm just very proud of myself for still being here.
I'm proud of you too.
Thanks. Thanks. Cheers to that. cheers to cheers to still being here and, fighting our seasons. What about you? What is something that you're proud of yourself? Whether if it's something big, something small, I feel like any win is a win.
Let's see. One thing I'm proud of would be
Excuse the noise. Those are my guinea pigs. They want to be part of the show.
I'm proud of how far I've come, even though the progress seems like little. Um, I mean, when I graduated high school, I went straight to getting a certificate to work as a medical assistant just to get that head start jump.
Sorry to interrupt. Just talking about medical assistant, you guys, this is something that I haven't addressed and I should have addressed earlier in the video. But Brittany and I are both medical assistants, and I so happened to apply at this clinic, not really thinking I was going to get the job, kind of just like, okay, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. And my lovely best friend Brittany was the person who trained me and taught me everything that I know. Shout out to Brittany. I feel like when we became friends, it's like we weren't even strangers. I feel like we just kind of like blossom into like something that I wasn't really expecting. And I feel like as soon as I met you, I was like, so this girl's pretty, but like is she gonna eat me alive and be hard on me when it comes to like this training? But thankfully, she was actually really nice, and we just like really hit it off. I feel like it's like we just knew each other for like a long time, and I don't know, but yeah. Back to like her question or her answer. I just wanted to put that little side note in.
What was I saying? Oh, let me just add on to what Angie was saying. Um, no, literally, like when we met, I don't know. It was like she'd just been there forever. We clicked. There was definitely no awkwardness at
Oh,
all.
wasn't.
There was not.
I
Um,
was like, what is this provider's age range again? What is
I
their
was like,
specialty?
I was like, girl,
Mental health awareness?
just look at my notes. No, but I feel like what I tried to do when she was on board with us was just like I didn't want her to feel what I felt when I first got hired, like feeling separated from the rest of the group and everything. So I was just there. And one thing about me is I will tell you to go take your breaks. So I don't care how busy it is, you needed to take your breaks. um, but back to the question, just yeah, just how far I've come, and then definitely leaving the clinic and making the decision to go back to school, where I'm no longer making as much like career progress. Is It was a big jump, but it's something I'm proud of because I've been committing to it, and it's hard work, but it's something I'm gonna get to the end of one day.
And I do want to say that I'm very proud of you. Like, FYI, even though she trained me, she's currently not working with us anymore. She decided to go back to school, which I'm so extremely like proud of you for. You know, I feel like it takes guts to like want to go back to school. Me, I'm not really big on school, so I will be like, no, never mind. Like, no, thank you.
It is weird going back after a big break because everyone's like, oh, like I'm fresh out of high school or this and this, and you're just like, oh, I haven't been here like 5 years, but I'm back now.
You're like, I'm still trying to figure out life.
I'm like, what's my login again? But it's fun, and then it's getting to meet new people from all age ranges because it's not just like the young kids that are coming in. Like you get people that are going back for like just different things. It's a variety of people, new connections, and that's I really love that about being back in school.
So I'm kind of take a break from these questions, and now that we've gotten very into, some juicy questions, and we've already got like pretty deep, I have some questions for you.
Okay.
Not just questions for you, but I feel like just questions that anybody would like, kind of like advice, like questions that people would ask and be like, oh, like, or sometimes some people are just scared to ask. But I feel like, how can I say this? I feel like so many people struggle. I'm just gonna go off topic. I feel like some people struggle with the main topics would be either like relationship or like friendships, and I feel like with us, some things we struggle with is like when it comes to friendships. But what is the most struggle that you've had to face within the last month that you would like, if you were to see somebody else going through what you went through in the past month, what kind of advice would you give them?
Mostly just reassurance. Number one would be reassurance. I'll get to the advice right now, but if you've been friends with a person forever and just one day, you just wake up and the connection is no longer there, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. It feels like it, but it's not. Sometimes people just aren't meant to be with you always. You guys are no longer on the same paths, and that's okay. Um, I would definitely recommend just finding things that make you happy. Um, just any favorite hobbies you have, do not spend it alone. It's okay to be alone, but it's okay.
I feel
It's
it is.
not okay to be lonely because there's a
For
difference.
long. Yeah. I feel like it's okay to be alone for a certain amount of time. But I feel when you're just in that state where you just want to be completely alone, like you don't want to go outside, you don't want to eat, you don't want to shower. I feel when it gets to the point you don't want to shower,
That,
that's
yeah.
already like, okay, ma'am, like I get it, we're going through shit, but like wash that ass.
No, literally.
Like I don't know, that's just me. But yeah, I feel like so many people struggle with like finding the good, like a good friendship. But I feel you kind of have to know when you have a good friendship and when you have like a toxic friendship. I feel you have to know when to let go. And I feel sorry. I feel like so many people struggle with finding when to let go, and I feel like sometimes they don't want to be like overbearing, or sometimes they just don't want to be like overly dramatic, because I feel like sometimes when I'm the type to where if something bugs me, I'm going to go ahead and address it and I'm going to speak my mind. And if you agree with me, good. If you don't, like, I don't really care. But I feel like something that I've struggled with is like good friendships.
If you have a friendship where you get to the point where it's no longer your friend reaching out, it's you.
Begging.
It's like
Not begging, but like
you're there being persistent. Yeah, like if you're there, if it all falls on you to like keep in contact with this person and it's just you giving, just let it be. There's no point in you trying to make a friendship. Oh my god, you can't be there for someone who doesn't want you around, basically.
Period. I girl, we're getting in deep. Deep.
Like you can't, and then they'll show it to you before it actually happens. They'll show it to you. There will be signs. And if you decide to be like me sometimes, where you just take off your glasses and pretend not to see
Yo no
it,
veo nada.
it does end up sucking a little bit, but you end up getting pieces of yourself back. So it's good. It's exciting. Plus, like, hot girl summer's coming up, so
You gotta get fit. Do you have any questions that like you want to ask me, or like it could be like about anything, or just like any kind of like advice you feel like other people would want to know, but would be too scared to ask?
um, we can dive into like the relationship questions now.
Ooh, we're getting
Because
juicy.
because she's like Miss Girl's over here married and everything, and how'd you bag a man? I'm just kidding. It was her lovely personality, and she's so beautiful. So
Thanks. So a little backstory on me. I am married. I'm not wearing my ring, but I was wearing my makeup, and I don't want to get that thing ruined. My husband is always on my butt about like taking very good care of my ring. Shout out to my husband. He got me a very expensive but very nice ring. I love it, and I take care of that thing like never before, especially at the gym. I go to the gym, and I feel like that's the first thing I take off because a girl's not trying to lose a diamond. But thankfully, I'm happy you asked about that, because I feel like so many people struggle when it comes to like relationships. And mind you, when it comes to mine, I feel like when it comes to my husband and me, our relationship was never really perfect. I feel like everything just happened so fast. And I kind of I had a bag of bad boy.
just picked him up and put him on her shoulder.
I had to show some ass. I'm just kidding. Oh. No, but all serious, like aside, my husband and I have been together for going on 7.5 years, 7.5. Me looking at you like you should know. I believe it's 7.5 years. Married, we've been together 4 years, right? My husband's behind the camera, so he's producing. 4 years, right? We've been together 4 years. Again, it hasn't always been so perfect. I feel like I legit found my soulmate. I mean, besides you, don't get
It's
jealous.
okay. I
or
won't get
anything.
jealous.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
He was your first.
I legit feel like I found my soulmate. I feel like you'll know when it's meant to be and when it's right. Of course, no relationship is perfect. You're always gonna go through your ups and downs. And I feel like one thing that you should always ask yourself, you guys are gonna always go through many obstacles, but you just have to ask yourself, is this person worth it? Is this person worth going through all the struggles, all the ups, all the downs? Like, is this the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with? And I feel like sometimes you get caught up in like looks or caught up in like, other things that are just not important. And I just feel like you kind of have to go into it with like an open mind. Mind you, we're not always right. Sometimes we have to learn to take a step back and allow like your significant other, whether if it's like your boyfriend, your husband, I feel like sometimes you have to allow them to take the lead, and you have to trust them enough to like run the relationship or run the household. And I feel like it's just the connection. I feel friendships, relationships, like family ships, like it's all about connections. I feel like you just have to build that trust and you have to build that connection with that person. But yeah.
And I haven't been around long, but I've seen how they take care of each other and how they always have each other's back, and it's something I aspire to have when I get to that point in my life, when I find my person. Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna be super jelly when you find your
Oh,
person.
she is.
I'm gonna be like, I had her first, perro. Just kidding.
She's gonna pull up to my date nights. She's gonna be approving what I wear, what I don't wear.
Where are you taking us?